What's up, everybody? I just finished another book in the Goosebumps House of Shivers series. This is One Night at Camp Bigfoot. Let's take a look at this awesome cover art. Pretty cool stuff. You got Bigfoot running out of the camp with a marshmallow in his hand, and you got a cabin back there. Pretty cool stuff. This is the newest book in the House of Shivers series. I finished this today. I wanted to read this kind of closer to summertime, and here it's already as hot as summer, basically, so I figured, why not? Let's go ahead and knock this out. And the next one comes out, I think, in July, and it is What We Do at Night. So pretty cool. But yeah, this story here follows Harper and her brother DJ. They are or she's in her room one day with a friend, and the parents come upstairs and they tell her that she's going to be going to camp. And Harper likes to draw, and her and her brother love scary stuff, and she especially loves drawing monsters and is very into this kind of stuff. The parents tell them it's like an art camp and stuff, and the camp is called Camp Woo Woo, and they kind of think it's dorky. They get these little T-shirts and stuff, and so Harper kind of tells her friend she doesn't really want to go. So her friend comes up with this idea to get her out of camp. She takes this little marker, this little red marker, and puts little dots all over her face. Her parents come back upstairs, and she kind of fakes being sick, and I think it's the dad. He finds the marker, and he's like, "Yeah, you're just trying to not fake so you don't have to go." And she gets in a little bit of trouble, but it turns out that the marker is actually permanent. And throughout this whole story, multiple people point out that she's got like a bunch of dots all over her face. And yeah, I kind of knew going into this, or kind of felt like that this is going to lead to something. So they end up going to camp anyway, and the parents are going to this camp, and they pull up and they're at this camp or whatever, and the Camp Woo Woo is already like closed down. There's nobody there. So they're looking around. They even see a close sign, but the mom and dad decide to kind of go and look around. They find this cabin, and they open it, and it's a bunch of bears inside the cabin. So the dad and mom, they quickly close the door, and this is just wild. And this book is in different parts. I think it goes part 1, 2, and 3. And part 1 is mainly the exposition of them getting ready for camp. So they see this guy, and he's one of the counselors here, and he says that, yeah, they closed down camp, and they closed down camp because of the bear intrusion. They say that bears are endangered species, and they can't move them, and they can't, like, lock them in or something. It's really not super interesting, but it's pretty crazy. So they get ready to leave, and the mom says, well, wait, are there any other camps around? And the guy says, yeah, there's a camp deep in the woods. If you go further back, there's another camp there. So the family starts heading towards this camp, and they start hearing howls and different things like that. So they pull up, and they meet this guy named Uncle Squatch, which is, Uncle Sasquatch or whatever. But Uncle Squatch comes out, and he kind of talks to the family about what's going on. And he says, yeah, you guys can come to camp or whatever. So after a lot of bickering back and forth, the dad kind of is like, they can stay here. And this camp is supposed to be based around Camp Bigfoot. And the reason they call it Camp Bigfoot is because a lot of locals said that they seen Bigfoot around this camp. And they got Bigfoot Woods, which is surrounded by the camp. And they have these weird little things going on. There's a statue of Bigfoot. So it's kind of like a tourist attraction almost. So the kids decide to stay. So we learn a little bit more about the camp and stuff. The girl Harper, she actually ends up getting split up with her brother, because her brother goes to the boy side and she goes to the girl side. She meets this girl named Cora Ann, who claims that all of this Bigfoot stuff is just fake. They have this thing called the Bigfoot hunt, and towards the end of the book, they have this thing where they go and they sleep in tents and they hunt for Bigfoot. And even though they think that this thing is real, he kind of comes out, and she claims that the Uncle Squatch comes out dressed up as Bigfoot and tries to scare the campers. It's just like a way to scare the kids, and she takes this like oath thing to not tell anybody, even though she just told her. But things are pointing to this not entirely being true, because they are given this Bigfoot spray and stuff like that. And one night, Harper and her other two girls that are with her, they decide to sneak out because they can't sleep, or Harper can't sleep. So they go out, and they are just kind of exploring. They see a bunch of big footprints. They hear howls again, and they come to this clearing. And in this clearing, I'm not going to reveal what they see, but it's actually pretty good imagery. There is this. There's two things sitting in this clearing, and they're eating a rat. I think it's a rat or a rabbit, one of the two, and they're eating it. And it's pretty. It had like I think it's gonna stick with me for a while. Like I don't know. I'm a lot older than what this book is targeted at, but I feel like if I was younger, this would probably traumatize me a little bit. Um, so they see this and they sneak off and they run back. They get lost, or she gets lost. They end up finding each other, and yeah, they go back. The Bigfoot camp, the Bigfoot hunt thing happens, and this is where like the climax happens. And I will say, I figured Bigfoot would come in and be just this nice entity, like even though he's based like being scary or whatever, he's not. He is absolutely mean. He he comes in and he actually throws people, or throws at least two or three people, I think, and throws a dog, and they say like he throws them like across the tent and across the field, and yeah, it's pretty insane. The climax of this book is very fun, very excellent. Bigfoot is a straight up menace. He is actually really scary, especially for this kind of book. Yeah, this is a book that I was surprised at. With what we had in this, there is other creatures in this book aside from Bigfoot, as I mentioned in the clearing, and I absolutely love that. This is a book that I'm not going to reveal anything else, but Stein hasn't done a book like this that I know of, at least in the Goosebumps series, in a long time. And there is a certain monster or something that appears here that I thought was really, really well overdue. Like, I really wanted to see more of these instead of Slappy. But yeah, One Night at Camp Bigfoot was a very fun book. I really enjoyed it. I give it a 4 out of 5 stars. I don't give it quite a perfect 5, mainly because during the middle portion of this book is split into 3 parts. Part 1 is just the exposition of them trying to get to camp and things going crazy. Like, it's just kind of padded pages. I mean, things do happen, but nothing much. The middle portion is nothing really happens, but it's not bad. Like, it's a camp book. Steiner's great at making camp books, and I love the setting. It's hot, and when it's outside, it's kind of cold, and yeah, it's really fun. There is a campfire, I believe, and yeah. So even though not a lot happens in the middle portion, I don't think, it's still a really fun, cozy book that really takes you back. Like, I don't remember the last time Stein did a camp book in the Goosebumps series. I have to look. I mean, maybe Horrorland or something, or well, no, I think Slappy World had. There is a camp scene in The Ghost of Slappy, I believe, if I remember right. But yeah, One Night at Camp Bigfoot was a very fun book. There is one thing that just me. I do like good Bigfoot stories and stuff, and crypto. What is it? Cryptids are very cool. I love like Mothman and stuff, and I was hoping that somehow, some way, we'd get like Mothman popping in. We didn't, but we do get other things. But yeah, One Night at Camp Bigfoot, I give it 4 out of 5 stars. Not a perfect book, but really not much to complain about. Other than maybe the middle portion being kind of not amazing, not really eventful, but really, really fun book. I definitely recommend this to younger readers too. This isn't too scary. I mean, there is like this thing throwing people and throwing dogs and different things like that. But there is like the ending is very good, very climatic. Yeah, but not too scary and not too yeah. One Night at Camp Bigfoot again. I give it a 4 out of 5 stars. Please let me know in the comments below. What did you think about this book? What is your favorite cryptid? That's it for me, guys. Thank you. Bye bye.